The Korean and Arirang was really important for us because we just want to like claim ourselves again, like as we started rooted in Korea, and now we're here, like we're here in New York, we're in Europe, we're everywhere, but still we just want to make it clear we all born in Korea, started everything in Korea, and we just wanted our new album and our sound from now on could be universal and eternal, like the Korean traditional song.
7 years, no full album, no world tour. And the moment they finally sat down for an interview, one of the first things out of their mouths wasn't gratitude. It wasn't relief. It was this. That's not a comeback line. That's a reclamation statement. 7 words buried inside a polished hotel interview that the entertainment press completely ignored. Universal and eternal. Those aren't album buzzwords. That's a group of men who felt like something had been taken from them, and they were quietly announcing they were taking it back. But to understand what was really happening in that room, you have to understand what the last 7 years actually looked like.
Be made and why?
We started our service in the military, and it's been like almost 7 years that we have since we ever like released like a full album with more than like 10 tracks. So it's been really a while, and we haven't had a tour for also like 6 years and a half, and fans been waiting for so long time. So we felt like we have to come back with a big project with fresh new songs.
6.5 years without a tour, nearly 7 without a full album. The biggest band on the planet, dark, silent, legally removed from the global music machine by South Korea's mandatory military service law. But here's what nobody talks about. While the artists were gone, the industry never stopped. Streams kept generating, catalog kept selling. Solo projects were greenlit and pushed to market. The BTS brand was packaged and monetized in ways members had zero direct control over, and all 7 of them could do nothing but watch. So, when they came back, the very first thing they needed to do wasn't record music.
Space.
뭐 일단 사실 좀 궁금했어요. 그러니까 너무 오랜만에 팀으로 모이는 거기도 하고 우리가 다시 모였을 때는 어떤 음악을 할까라는 거가 너무 궁금했어서 최대한 빠르게 모여서 다 같이 음악 작업을 하면서 우리의 음악을 만들어 보고 싶다라는 생각이 굉장히 가득했던 것 같아요.
Yeah. It's like, what if, you know? You guys, it's so fun seeing what you guys missed about each other being away. I want to know more about the FOMO. What was it that you saw that you're like, oh my God?
It was reconnect with each other. And even that process revealed something the label would never put in a press release.
We all have the Notes app, you know, where you're just dumping stuff, ideas, thoughts, or maybe it's a group chat where you're tossing in ideas. Was there ever a point while you were away that you were tossing things in like, oh, we got to do this when we're back on tour, or maybe when we get back into the studio?
근데 그거는 뭔가 매일매일 나눴었던 것 같아요. 각자 우리가 쓰는 단톡방 안에서 아이디어 링크를 주고받거나 아니면 아이디어의 생각을 주고받으면서 아 이거 되게 멋있다. 우리도 이런 거 한번 해보자. 아니면 저런 거 멋있다. 이런 거.
A group chat. That's how 7 of the most powerful artists alive were staying connected across barracks, bases, and military schedules. Not label strategy sessions, not A&R meetings. A group chat. And that detail matters because it tells you exactly how disconnected the machine had become from the men actually making the music. And when they finally got back into the studio, the industry expected the same BTS. Safe, proven, profitable. What they got instead was something the label definitely didn't plan for.
It was made by Gincho, and he's really, he does like so many songs of Rosalia. And Mike Will made 2.0, and you know he made amazing tracks of like Kendrick and all those like hip hop stars. And I like to pick Like Animals. We made it with Diplo and Artemis, and also Merry Go Round with Tame Impala, and they are very psychedelic and like trip hop, dark. I think we've never tried that sound before in our career.
Yeah. Well, it worked out. So good.
Thank you.
You know, I feel like not many artists get to unplug like you did. And I know you're obviously in the military, but
Sounds BTS had never touched in over a decade of making music. New producers, new sonic territory, Gincho, the man behind Rosalia's most experimental work, Mike Will, architect of Kendrick Lamar's hardest tracks. These aren't safe label picks. These are the choices of artists who spent years in forced silence and came back with something to prove, to themselves, not to a boardroom. But the most revealing moment of the entire interview wasn't about music. It was about what the military years actually cost them emotionally.
저는 저 혼자 먼저 전역을 해가지고 파리에 성화봉송을 하러 간 적이 있어요. 근데 그때 지민이 앨범이 나왔더라고요. 지민이가 군대에 가 있는 동안. 그래서 지민이가 지금 나와서 같이 이 사회 속에 있었으면은 너무 좋았을 텐데라는 생각을 했었어요.
love that. I was there too. I don't know how I missed you. We must have crossed paths. How wild is it to have individual solo eras that, you know, have done so well, but also they're ingrained kind of into the...
Think about that image. One member, alone at the Paris Olympics, carrying a flame that symbolizes global unity, while his brother is still locked inside a military base. And during that same window, Jimin's album dropped. The label moved forward. The machine kept running. But the 7 men who built everything, they were separated, watching each other's milestones from a distance. That emotional cost never made it into any press release. And here is where the story gets uncomfortable. Because when BTS came back and talked about their priority, what they said had nothing to do with chart positions or streaming numbers.
사실 너무 오랜만에 무대라 우선순위라 함은 저희가 준비했던 것들을 100% 깔끔하고 완벽하게 보여주는 게 가장 큰 우선순위였던 것 같아요. 예, 그동안 기다렸을 팬분들한테 어쨌든 가장 크게 보답을 해줄 수 있는 거는 좋은 음악과 무대이기 때문에 그거를 충족시키기 위해서 최선을 다했던 것 같습니다.
100%. Clean and perfect. After 6.5 years away, their first instinct wasn't self-promotion. It was accountability to the people who never left. And that loyalty runs both directions because Army culture itself tells a story the industry completely underestimates.
공연장에서 보면은 저희 저희 팬분들의 좀 재밌는 문화가 있어요. 뭐 예를 들면은 저희의 얼굴이 담긴 사진을 옆자리 사람한테 준다든지 아니면 젤리 같은 거를 작게 소분해서 뭐 또 주변 사람들한테 나눠준다든지 그리고 저희 응원봉이 있는데 이 건전지 같은 게 부족하면은 옆에 서로 나눠주기도 하고 이런 걸 보면서 정말 이 올해 함께 하신 우리 팬분들이 이 새로 오신 팬분들을 적응할 수 있게 잘 도와주시는구나 그런 걸 보면은 되게 뿌듯하고 감격스럽고 그러더라고요. 너무 좋은 분들인 것 같아요.
The album was always going to come back. The tour was always going to be announced. But the version of BTS that returned, that wasn't the industry's plan. That was theirs. So here's the question that should be keeping every music executive up at night. When you spend 7 years building a machine around 7 people, and those 7 people come back changed, who actually controls the legacy? Subscribe to Celebzova, because the industry has a lot more confessions it hasn't made yet.